here is a it's a virtual box. We have to we have to download the virtual box from Oracle and install the virtual box, and also download the Ubuntu images. As I said, that two or three virtual the Ubuntu VM box needs to be installed on the virtual box. It doesn't mean that you have to download the two or three times of Ubuntu images. You can download only one time, and you can use the same image to set up your guest operating systems. So we will do that. Uh, Download that you can get from the Oracles. You simply type Oracle VirtualBox. You can type this Oracle VM VirtualBox download. Then I believe you can get to this. So platform that you host to machine. If you are running on Windows, then you need to download this Mac OS X, this DMG images. So whichever convenient to you. So you download it and install it. So once you download and install, then it could be in on your. I'm now giving you the MacBook versions so that not much different. Unix, I'm sorry, Windows version looks much easier. Uh, Mac OS was to somebody Mac OS may be easier than Windows, but anyway, yeah, both are easier. So make sure that you have a VirtualBox like this VirtualBox, okay, and then yeah, get the VirtualBox ready. Uh, for Mac OS, you can find it from applications. For Windows, probably program files, 86 or program files. Then you can see VirtualBox there. And then ubuntu.com/download/desktop. Then there is a download Ubuntu desktop. And I think you can download any of these. Let's see if I have that here. Let me the click, it takes a longer time. So if you come to here download, yeah, I have here Ubuntu 22.04.3 desktop AMD 64 iOS. This is this version 22.04.3 desktop. I believe this is or this. I think this. So this is ISO files. So make sure that you have ISO of Ubuntu. Then come back here, application. I want to start VirtualBox here. I already made a few three virtual boxes, VMware on this virtual box. What you need to do, I am going to build the next Ubuntu box. So click on this new and you name it, but I want you to say use your email. Let's say jyun1. On your homework assignments, I ask you to name your VM machines using your email. Say jyun, Jyoon, and I want to ask you to build two or three machines. So I want you to name it with the number. So Jeyun1 in this case, and then make sure the folder that you don't need to worry about this. And then ISO images, click this. Usually, if it takes a little longer time, then this guy can find out. But in my case, that is in users/jeyun/download. On this download folder, there is a Ubuntu 22.04.3 desktop AMD64.ISO, which is the one that we looked at, right? And then you do not need to do anything but click on next button. And I want you to do username. You can do whatever your username here. I would like to leave it, and see here that is a change me. Remember that this is a default username and password. Um, a couple of weeks ago, to strengthen your computing power securely, the given username and password needs to be changed, right? So if you follow that guidelines, then you need to change it. So in this case, I would change my username Jeyun. Okay, I would say Jeyun3. In that way, I do not, I don't need, I'm not really forgetting Jeyun for the machine Jeyun3. What actually don't do that on your real production systems. But this practice, if you want to set up many operating systems here, then I may forget, right? So this is for our exercise. And password also, I do not want to forget. So I want to do the same name. Usually it is not allowed, but you should not do. But this particular case we will do. So username JN3, password JN3, repeat the password. There is a JN3 on the host name JUN1. Well, I put JUN1. Why JUN3? Okay. And you don't need to do much, but click on next. And actually, the memory size suggested by this VirtualBox is 2 gigabytes. I'm not going to change this. I'm not going to change anything. And also processors, 1 CPU. And I didn't touch anything. Just read it and click on next button. Same thing here. Virtual hard disk now 25 gigabytes, and I don't do any, but click next and finish. Don't do anything, let it go. Okay, it takes a while. It takes a little, really, I think about maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Do not stop it. If you do it, you probably remove it and redo.
You want me to do this now? Do you want me to install it now? Or do you
Yeah, you can start. Anyway, you have to do, right? But use your name. Use your name, your host name, and I do not ask you to submit your machine, your VirtualBox, but that is your on your own. Uh, what you need to submit is only the screenshots, where I may be able to see your name, the host name is yours, and login name is yours. Don't even touch this face. Looks like it is done. It's
You want
not.
us to use Active Directory too?
We don't do that
No.
Active Directory here. Is it possible on the VirtualBox, the setting up VirtualBox?
VirtualBox.
There's for Windows.
Use a developer kit, but I'm using UTM, which is like a more lightweight one, but
Okay.
it has all the features and everything.
Okay, okay.
And on there, it's available on most of Linux.
Yeah, maybe you can do UTM. We're not going to do UTM, or we're going to use more like basic configurations.
Do we use our name for everything, right?
Mhm. Or virtual out there. So this still takes time. So I am going to leave this aside, and hopefully still VirtualBox works. Hopefully. Oh, this is not working. This is only one process. So this should be done. I cannot. So to save, I want to stop this. Um, I have three operating systems here: Ubuntu 1, Ubuntu 2, Ubuntu 3. In your case, maybe JUN 1, JUN 2, JUN 3. And I am each one of those start. So that is being started. And Ubuntu 2 start. Ubuntu 3 also start. So three VirtualBox, three Ubuntu operating systems are being started on the VirtualBox.
Hope you have enough RAM.
Let's see. This is Ubuntu 1. Ubuntu 2 is being, and Ubuntu 3. Okay. JUN 1 is ready. I need to reduce this a little bit and remove that. JUN 2 is ready. Okay. See, if you see here, the network, right now is a network, net network. What is a net? That is explained here. Net is a network address translation, right? Network address translation. Why net is important? IP address is limited. For example, IP version 4, then only 4 bytes long, which is 32 bits, to represents all possible IPs. So outside here, that is the internet. If there is a IPs, we call that static IPs. And inside this static IPs, because this guy knows the network address and host address. So anyway, it can come into this the router using network address and host address. You may be able to see it, what I mean by that. Not today, but later. Anyway, when the network packets arrives here on this router, and inside this router, that is inside of this, there's different IPs may be used because they are not they are temporarily and automatically assigned IPs only available within this inside the network. Outside the network, only this number 89.203.12.47. This is a static, so all over the network this is identifiable. Therefore, network packets can reach this router. Once it comes here, then inside each IP address here is not the way that we could see outside. This is newly assigned and temporarily available through DHCP protocol. D stands for dynamic. So dynamically, that host address was configured. So DHCP means dynamic host configuration protocol. So each host inside of this network is dynamically configured. That protocol is running here, DHCP, and this translation is used, network address translations. So, for example, this is a PC inside the PC, and IP currently 192.168.1.2. This is internal IP. This IP is not known outside, but this IP is known by this router. So inside this router, this IP is recognizable, identifiable. But this on this PC, for example, I want to access this server 202.14.35.28. Then I can say source is my packet. Packet can be packed according to simple algorithms, and also according to your simple codings. When I teach networks, I usually do how we can pack the packets, and therefore when we receive the packets, then we need to unpack the packets. Therefore, we extract all possible metadata about the networks. For example, IP address, port numbers, and all, even all the way down to the payload. But anyway, if there is IP protocols, then we have the port IP numbers here. So source, this is the sender's IP address. Destination is 202.14.35.28, which is here. So on packet, this guy calls both of these IP address. But source is available inside, destination available outside. So when it arrives here on this router, because there is a net program is available, this net translate this to the destination remains the same. But source is not anymore 192.168.1.2. Source is changed to this router address. Router address is 89.203.12.47. So this router's address is replace the local IP address, and from this point, this source IP and destination IP travels all the way through that public outside network infrastructures. So it arrives the server, and server respond. For example, hey, I want to respond to the original server. Then this guy responded whatever the value. The source is now changed to this guy because this guy's replies, and the destination is not uh, this guy original destination, but this router destination. So destination is the router's IP, and it travels all the backbones and all the sub networks, and finally it reaches the router where that is my router is this PCs. And when it comes to this router, according to network address translations, this source is not anymore this, but uh, this guy's source, original. I mean the destination, but destination is not anymore 89, 203, 12, 47. This router's destination, but this inside the IPs. Therefore, from these points, it can travel also properly to the destination. So all those things, translation can be done by this NAT network. However, here, when you first open this, believe it or not, it has only NAT. So I'm going to change this NAT. So once you set up your operating system, the Ubuntu 123, then all of those are this NAT. Same thing here, network. It should be NAT. I'm returning back to the original configuration. Not network, not net network, but NAT. Okay, so I want to log in. This is JYOON1. I log in. Same thing here. JYOON2. I am not going to use this Ubuntu 3 to save my computing power. My computing power is very slow. So I'm going to save this because this, oops, why, this guy, oh, this guy came up. Why not this guy? Oh, okay. So I want to get the terminals. So if you scroll this down, then there is a terminal. Bring this up. There's a terminal. I'm not going to use this. But if you scroll this down, there's a terminal. Okay. So let's see what is the IP address. IP address here 10.0.2.15. Here IP address. This is actually this is coming back. But originally, if you do this on NAT protocol, NAT network, NAT-based network here, NAT-based network, then you will get the same IP address 10.0. I believe it is a 10.0.2.15. Both of this machine has this 10.0.2.15. Same thing here. Of course, in that case, you cannot talk to from here to there because they have the same IP address. how come they have the same IP address? You may have that question, right? That is by default. It is given that way. Logically, the rationale is this. When you set up your uh, guest operating systems, then it is set together with the virtual router. So every time you set up a new guest OS, it has its own virtual router. What it means is that each of those started DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. According to that, automatically it generates IP address. Because of the same image files, they generate, each one of those generates the same IP address, same local IP address. With that, even if you set up to the guest OS, they cannot talk because they are relying on different router. Although they are virtual, it's not physical router, but virtual router. Virtual router, that should be in the same, under the same router, then they can talk each other. Because a router can generate different IPs within that subnet. But in this case, it generates the same IPs and different router. They cannot identify each other. Okay, that is basically what this net can do. If you go network here, then this net only can do. Once you set up here advanced, then it doesn't really matter. But anyway, that is net. So you have to change it to network. But you do not, when you set up network, then you need to have here name. Name should have a network, a logical name should appear, but by default you do not have that. Anybody following? Gianni, are you? So do we have this? Probably don't. You don't have, you cannot, you don't have any number, any name here.
No.
So what you need to do is that is on slide. So how VMs or virtual machine itself within the VirtualBox communicate? Then you need to use you need to set up network instead of net. But network cannot be installed. If you want to do that, then you need to do, if network has no name here, in my case, I have a name, but if you don't do anything, but there is no that name available, then what you need to do is you go to a VirtualBox manager. This is a VirtualBox manager. If you go to file here, this is a VirtualBox. File here, then there is a tool. Within that tool, there's a network manager. Click that network manager. And then there is a network manager, networks, and create networks. So what you need to do is click this network. Right now, if you come here, then there's nothing available. This is not available. So you need to create. Click on this create button and create this. If you click this, then automatically that is created. You don't type anything, only create button. So now I'm going to remove this because I don't need to do. Only I have this. This one is I know, right? But this may not be available if you are not in the sudo's list. So you have to do sudo's list first before you do this. If you go to sudo, if you come here, oops. What is sudo? Sudo. Sudo. Actually, I think it is called sudo. Su means SU, it's a super user. What super user can do can be done by me. In other words, I can do what super user can do. That is a sudo. As you install this VM machine, you create a user ID. That user ID is not in that sudo's list. It does not have a sudo's. It's not like each Linux machine has a different policies. Some Unix operating systems allow you to create first user ID, then that first user ID can have automatically super user privileges, but not in this case. So you need to gain the super user privileges. The way that you could do, there's already I wrote here. You need to do su and root, type su and root. I'm not going to do that. And then it asks you to enter the password. Right there, you need to put the password of the password that you currently have. For example, JUN1, because you do not have a root password, right? So su root, and then you can put your own password. So in my case, JYOON1. Then watch this. Look at this. This is a pound sign. In Linux, if the prompt statements ending with the pound sign, which means that is a super user, that is the root. So if you do who, it's not really root, but you have the super user. I don't know why it doesn't look the root. But anyway, this is a super user privileges. That is what you are. Okay. Then you will be in pound sign prompt. There, you need to do install apt install sudo. If you are not the root privileges, then you need to usually do sudo and apt install something. But right now, because you are root, you don't need to do sudo, but apt install and then sudo. Then it'll be installed. But in my case, it is already installed. Let's see what happens. Is it being the installations or? But anyway, 0 upgraded, 0 newly installed because it is already installed. After that, we have to change the user mode. So my JUN's user mode needs to be changed. This is a super privileges execution command. So user mode minus A, you want to add to the group. Group is sudo. So you can do user mode minus G, minus A in uppercase G, and then sudo to jun1, then it is you are in the sudo words list. The way that you can see here, see if you are sudo words list. Right now, I'm in root right now, so I'm going to exit from that root privileges. So I'm simply jun, and I want to see, for example, more. I want to see etc sudo. See what we have. Sudo stores minus d. etc sudo. Here sudo words. So in this case, I need to do sudo more sudoers and put my password, not the root password. So jun1, enter, then I may be able to see, because I added me into it. It is in here, sudo was the not added as a text itself. Admin sudo allows members of group to execute my commands. Let's see, it's not really. List is not shown. Somewhere hidden. But anyway, I'm sudo words privileges. Therefore, I remember that I did this, right? So once I am in that super user privileges, then I need to install net-tools. So apt, in this case, sudo apt install net tool. That is installed. If you are currently in this pound sign prompt, then you can simply do this. But if you exit from there, then you need to do sudo, right? And I would say exit. And then you can do sudo. Once you do net tools, then come back here, right here, then you may be able to create networks instance. So that is created. Oops, what happened? The settings. That is gone. What happens? Applications, VirtualBox. Okay. So that is the VirtualBox. So currently now here. So for example, in this case, we can try this. I cannot ping 10.0.50. What is this guy's IP? IP address is 10.0.2.15. 10.0.2. 2.15, if I do ping is not unable to reachable, right? Because they are in the different subnetwork. They are not under the same router. So we need to make sure they are under the same router. How should we do? Then, because we already set up the net tools, and we are here come back the network. I am going to set up the network, not the attached to net, but I want to attach it to net network, and then find out, make sure there is a name. Okay, then we can do OK for Ubuntu 1, and also I can do for the network here for Ubuntu 2 rather than net, but net network. OK, and then if I want to do this one again, ping. Now it is reached, right? See the difference here? There's a ping and this is another ping, right? It can reach here continually. So that I can do this. Same thing here. Here IP address, then that is 10.0.2.4. Then I can do ping 10.0.2.4. Then it reaches back here. So they are now talking each other.
You can also, if you know what you're doing, you can also use a bridge connection.
That's talked with the host for bridges, right? So this, in this case, so within the VirtualBox, the virtual machines among themselves can communicate. Yeah. That's what we want to do. The different that is a different setting. So we'll do that later. And then this machine can allow the other users to come in with the secure shell. Secure shell is similar to the remote login. So instead of a remote login, then we need to make sure that there's a secure protocols. So we need to set up sudo apt install open ssh-server. So that should be done here. Sudo apt install open ssh-server. Then that secure shell server is running on this JUN virtual machine. Once it is done, then we can access remotely using SSH, and login name there is JUN1. Remember, this guy's login name is JUN2, but I want to log in the JUN1, which is here, JUNBox. And then the IP address is 10.0.2.15. Initially, it asks you to whether you want to initialize some of the credentials. But I will already say yes. But initially, if that appears, then you need to say yes. After that, they already share the credentials. So only the password of this guy, JUN1. So I can say JUN1, and it can come in. This is host is Ubuntu 2. Now I am in Ubuntu 1. So come here if I want to see who are with me. JUN1 from TTY2, which is this terminal. Another JUN1 now coming from 10.0.2.4, which is over here. Okay, there's one thing that you could do. I wanted to exit from there. Then I am back here Ubuntu 2. I can do also nmap and then IP say 10.0.2.15 and then maybe 24. Then you can do nmap, scan reports 10.0.2.15, host is up right now. Port 999 ports are closed. Ubuntu 10.0.2.2, which is FTP proxy, and 10.0.2.4, because I said 24. So this guy also itself scanned 10.0.2.4, and then 10.0.2.15, which is that ones. If we set up here, for example, web server on JUN1, that could be that ports can be opened here. So that is nmap. Nmap that you can probe the vulnerabilities of the other the VM box, VirtualBox within within VirtualBox. It's very confused. VirtualBox and VM box. This is a VM box, and VirtualBox is the entire tool, entire platform. VM box is Ubuntu here. So VM box 1 is Ubuntu 01, and in this case Ubuntu 02. So you can communicate that. So we do SSH to another, and then nmap. I mean, this much I want you to do as your next homework assignments. All right. Any questions before we close today's lecture?
I had a question, but I need to remember it fully.
The other configuration will be done later. And within this virtual box, a few weeks later, we will do Kali Linux. There, maybe we will do meta exploits. Yeah. Well, if 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 we can, yeah, we will do. It is not a problem because we set up VirtualBox here. Freely, we can build other operating systems, guest operating systems very easily. Okay. Other than that, I'll stop here. I will see you next week over the Zoom. Okay.
Sorry. I'll email you tomorrow about the.
It's being recorded. Let me see. It is recorded properly. Yeah, it is recorded.